Okay, so here we are with the partition, trying to make this a true limousine, which means you can drink alcohol in the back because it has a separation between the driver and the passengers. So we're trying to get this sorted out. We need to drill some holes in the floor and get this thing actually bolted to the floor. We're thinking about using a riv nut right now. So put a riv nut in the sheet metal of the car and then use a 5/16 bolt just to through bolt through our little spacer right here. And we're gonna get started on that. We'll show you guys what we're doing. I'm on board with that. Holy shit. Dude, it looks great. We'll just leave it there.
Ugh.
3 dudes in a limo, not touching feet because we're not gay. Hey.
So what if, all right, so the window's gonna be here, it'll be tinted, right? But what if we got like a little like curtain rod from Walmart and screwed it up here? We had like a little curtain up here.
That would be kind of sick.
I almost think
that would be presidential.
I almost think we should do like a red curtain, like an executive red curtain.
That would be. I would kind of like that
with the blue.
God, I hate how the carpet just doesn't fucking show anything.
7/16.
What's that?
Somewhere in that drill. Do you want to put it on the thing so we don't lose it forever?
Yeah, seems good, and it feels snug.
As long as the counterbore or the edge of it has something to grab onto, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Once we have the pliers, we can push on it past the carpet.
Ryan, you want to table?
All right, guys, we got this side all done. So we got the riv nuts in there, ready to mount the partition on this side. So now Ryan and Marshall are getting that side done. Then we'll be able to mount this partition.
Where's that?
So this side's done now. Marshall ran to Lowe's to grab some more bolts because there's so much padding and carpeting that we actually needed longer bolts to be able to reach the riv nuts. So now me and Ryan are just chilling. We're gonna slap the partition in and wait for bolts. So now you just gotta drop these bolts in. Thanks, Marshall, for the late night bolt run.
Yes, I got you.
So now Ryan's finding the hole.
It's too long.
Update, it is now bolted in and she's pretty stout. So now we have it all spaced out. And now we just have to basically go through and get nice trim to go around all this. We're gonna probably keep this front part here and probably like Velcro it here, just so that way it seals off the front. And then, yeah, we'll basically have another trim piece that goes around here and here. And then the seat comes right here and sandwiches it. So you really won't see any of this stuff, but I am going to basically get wiring from the front to the switch. And we'll basically run the wire for the motor to the switch to the front so the partition window still works. I also forgot to show you guys earlier that I did 3D print a little switch bezel here. So we've got these 2 auxiliary switches, then we've got the window switch here. So I'll just wire that in and then we can control the partition window. Late night Taco Bell run with the boys. Let's go.
Wait, who's driving?
Ghetto activities with the boys. Guys, we're getting this partition right. And by right, I mean
Not right.
not right. We're cheaping out with Joanne's fabric. Thanks, Joanne.
50% off.
50% off
50%
section.
off section.
And now we're gonna get this limo looking snazzy as
We're
fuck.
gonna make it look like it was a junkyard limo.
Our measurements may have been incorrect, mostly because we didn't take any. Another day, another shitbox limo activity. So we got our brand new handle right there. We got the Joanne's fabric put on for the partition. So now it's completely sealed off. Once we get the window going, of course, we did find out that the motor is fried. So although we have the wiring completed now for it, the window still does not go up and down. So that's kind of sad. But now on top of that, the interior for the rear is pretty much done, boys. That's about all she wrote for that. Now we just got done wiring up the front cigarette lighter here. So that's sweet. And we also got, it's hard to see, the little plate made for the TV.
And the new handle.
Yes, and the new handle. So now for the road trip, we are not going to put the TV back in, I don't think, because it kind of blocks the view for the third person in the back, and we don't want to shut anybody out during the trip. So we're just going to leave the TV out so we can hang out and talk and bullshit. And as you guys can see up here, all of our wiring runs into the cabin. It's a little messy over here. We'll probably put some like looming or something like that on there just to clean it up a little bit. But yeah, this guy works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. All right, guys, super exciting update today. So we are officially done with the limo now. So I'm gonna go over real quick, kind of just what we did to the limo and where it's at now. And then the next video is just going to be the road trip. So I'm super excited. Stay tuned. Here we are. Here is the interior in the daytime. So it's all vacuumed out. It's all clean. We got new headliner. We got all these guys mounted much better than they were before. So they're all nice and stout. Pillars have been redone. We got pretty much all the wiring working in here except for like the mirror lights. I couldn't find the wiring for those. But we also got, so we got this guy made for the TV slot. You know, we just took out the TV because it was blocking the partition here. And we didn't really, you know, want anybody to be left out in the back here, just kind of in no man's land. So we just ended up covering that up. We got the partition back in here as well. So as you guys can see, here's this fabric that we got from Joann's earlier in the video. So that's all nice. It actually looks decent on the sides there, and it's officially all blocked off. So of course, the motor is still burned out on the partition, so that's pretty unfortunate. But we're probably gonna buy a new motor later on. It just won't be here in time for the trip. Okay, so here's the view from the middle seat. So here's all this fabric we put in. We just screwed it into the sides here and then tucked it behind this pillar here. We kind of just threw it under, like inside the partition at the bottom. It's not really a big deal as long as it's, you know, blocked off. So there's that. And then obviously the seat was repaired. I kind of just got some fabric and stitched that in there. So it looks a little bit better than it was. We cleaned up all the carpets. We rewired in this cigarette lighter since it was kind of jank before. Obviously got the mirror installed, and the backup camera ran for that. And then we also got this switch panel put in. You know, none of that works right now just because the motor's burned out on the partition, so that's kind of crappy. But it looks nice, so that's good. Everything else has been cleaned up and detailed. And then while I was gone, Marshall went to Discount Tire and got some white walls put on this thing. This is probably one of the coolest mods that we've done to the limo. I absolutely love the way that the white walls look on this thing. It looks so sick. On top of that, Marshall also did install with Ryan the lights here. So when the key is on, we can press that. We've got some underglow lights for under the seat. So I'll have to show you guys that later on when it's nighttime. So I'm not gonna turn those on right now. But finally, we also got the AC working, and that's gonna be probably the biggest thing about this trip that's gonna save us, is having AC, because it gets so hot in this limo. So super stoked that that's finally working. So besides the interior stuff, we got the harmonic balancer done. We got the transmission fluid changed out. We also got the fuse box. Obviously, like I mentioned before, the AC done. And we also got new wheel bearings on the front, and then those coolant lines that we ripped out just to make it a little bit more reliable, and obviously took out the rear AC unit since that thing was a total basket case. So I think this thing is absolutely prepared and reliable for the trip. Super excited. I think it's going to do great. So stay tuned, and we are going to show you guys all of the shenanigans that we get into in this week's road trip. Well, guys, that does it for this week, but stay tuned because next week is the road trip in the limo. We are super excited to go across the country in this thing, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a ton of fun, and it's going to be super exciting. You guys won't want to miss it. But if you enjoyed this content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future content. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.